please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. Are we ready back there, Crystal? All right. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thanks for coming, everybody. I wish Mother Nature would cooperate with our weather. I think she still thinks it's April Fool's Day out there. Roll call vote, please.
I'll just roll call.
Or, roll call. Slap me.
Karen Straffen. Here. Tom Fetter.
He's absent.
Absent.
Excused.
Tom Kruger.
Here.
Artie Bryson.
Here.
Cindy Valentine. Here. John Horvath.
Here.
Joanne Shirkey.
Here.
Okay, thank you. We do have a quorum. I'd like to amend the agenda if I can. Actually, the discussion with the attorneys for ALS transport, I want to put that underneath public comments. Just,
Is that a motion?
well, I'm not done. And under new business 6, high-tech additional phone quote. That will be a motion.
I'll support those.
Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion carries. Bills payable.
I'll make a motion to approve the bills payable in the amount of $6,117.77.
Support.
Yeah, motion and support. Any discussion? I think this is the lowest amount we've ever
I
done
know.
in a meeting.
What?
$6,000.
That's because all the bills came today.
Okay, makes sense. Like, really? Pretty light here. Okay, we have motion and support. Any more discussion? Hearing none, roll call vote, please.
Tom Kruger.
Yes.
Artie Bryson.
Yes.
Cindy Valentine. Yes. John Horvath.
Yes.
Joanne Shirkey.
Yes.
Karen Straffen. Yes.
Okay, motion carries. Now we have public comments, anything related to the agenda. Anything on the agenda anybody would like to talk about? Okay, seeing none. Next we're going to go into a closed session. We're going to be discussing with our council our advanced life support transportation application that we went in with St. Clair County Medical Control Authority. And I need a motion for us to go into closed session.
I think the motion as a recommendation should include privileged and confidential communication from us regarding those matters.
Yes.
I'd like to make a motion to go into
This is my
closed,
motion guy.
go into closed session, which will include privileged and confidential discussions with our township attorney
On the medical control,
on the medical control issue,
Advanced life support.
yes.
advanced life support issue, whatever.
Support.
Okay,
Throw it all in there.
motion and
Take it
support. Any discussion on that? Hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Okay, anyone opposed? Okay, this time we're going to adjourn and go into, and we'll be back, hopefully not too long.
We shall return.
You got it rolling?
Do we open this meeting again?
Not yet. We got to wait for our,
Gotta wait to be on the record. Can't believe nobody went home.
I know.
I would have.
I see a couple empty beer bottles back there. Okay. All right, we're back out of our closed session. I'll entertain a motion to
I'd like to make a motion
reconvene.
to reconvene our meeting at
8:06.
8:06.
Support. Okay, a motion and support. Any discussion? Hearing none, everyone in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion carries. I'd like to make a motion that we follow the attorney's recommendations that was discussed in closed session.
Support.
We have motion and support. Any discussion? Hearing none. All in favor, signify by saying aye. Aye. Anyone opposed? Okay, motion carries. Just so everybody knows, there's only a few reasons you can go into a closed session. And correct me if I mess up there, Keith or Janelle. And we cannot make any actual decisions in a closed session. We have to come out in the public and actually make the decision. So that's where that goes, so. Where's my agenda now?
You took it with you.
Yes, you may
of
be
course.
excused.
Thank you very much.
Stay for the whole thing.
That's right. That's what I do to these guys.
Hey, we're all in this together.
Drive safe.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Well, I'll make a motion to approve the consent agenda consisting of minutes, the board meeting of March 21st, 2016, and synopsis, the check reports, the investment of public funds report, assessing the 2016 taxable values report, notice about the Anchor Bay Canal treatment schedule, PA 13 of 2016, and SCC flooding and siren update, and communications from the County Road Millage Renewal and the Loss Achievement Award.
Okay, we have a motion. Any support?
I would like to add Karen Straff into the adjournment from the minutes from March 21st. Sorry about that, Karen, I missed you on there.
So we have amendment to the minutes.
Yep.
Okay, we have motion and support to accept the consent agenda. Any discussion?
Yes, on the notice, I would, one of the papers that we received for notices is the St. Clair County flooding and siren update. And so Artie, I would appreciate it maybe if you could add that to your supervisor's report and make mention of that because it has to do with sirens and, you know, driving and flooding water. And then also in the communication to explain the county road millage renewal will
Okay.
notice, communication that we
Right.
received.
I'll just take them
Just
out.
so the public knows,
Right.
because they get mixed up that maybe we're doing it or something.
All right, sounds
Okay.
good. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, all in favor of the consent agenda signify by saying aye. Aye. Anyone opposed? All right, motion passes. Supervisors report. Let's see. Things are moving along with addition on the police station. I mentioned to you last meeting, the supervisors report, we had an issue where DTE is requiring us to get a second, what are they? Transformer for the building, and actually we got the cost, it's $7,100, a little over $7,100. And still, we're still on track as the total budget for the project. I am in talks, actually. I had a friend actually send me a text who's an architect and said, you know, if your architect kind of made a mistake, you know, they have insurance to cover that. So actually, I'm in talks to maybe get a little relief on the mistake as far as where the service for the electric was running. And I'm not sure if I'm going to be successful or not on that, but I wanted to let the board know I am working on that. We're still roughly about $10,000 below our budget on the project. So I'm hoping, and I don't anticipate any more surprises, but you never know. But we do still have a little bit of money to play with, but we're watching it as much as we can. I myself, I've started the budget process and starting the initial meetings with the department heads to try to figure out, you know, as far as what major expenses we're going to have coming up this year and where we can save money on different line items. And so actually that's been taking care of most of my time this last week. Starting to set up initial meetings with our labor unions. We have 5 labor unions at the township, and all the contracts are up. We're going to be in negotiations with that soon. And I don't anticipate too much issues, truthfully. So we're going to probably be getting in the nitty-gritty here sometime this next month. Like I say, I'm just meeting with them initially just to start up the dialogue and get it going. I think I have a pretty good relationship. We have a pretty good relationship with who we have right now, and I don't really see too many issues, actually. Hopefully, it'll go real smooth. The lights in the park, did you get a chance to see them, that they're installed along the walking path? They're in, and I've actually gotten a lot of compliments about them. And also, the dispatch console upgrade's going pretty good. They did quite a bit of work this past week. It says move. Movie in the park, 21st. As you recall, we were going to do a movie for the kids in the park around Halloween, make it a kid event, and it got rained out. So we had a rain check on it, and what we're going to do is May 21st. I checked with the schools; they don't have anything conflicting. It's a good weekend to do it that Saturday. And what we're talking about, there's a Disney movie coming out, Finding Dora, and so we thought we would do Finding Nemo. And because a lot of the probably kids that age probably never seen it yet, and it will be a big deal. And we have a clown coming also, and our liability insurance company, SAF is going to sponsor it. So it's not going to end up costing us anything. So kudos to them.
We got their check today, by the way.
Oh, we did.
Yeah.
Cha-ching, we got their check today. So no. No. I'm hopeful that'll be a good event. Usually that time the mosquitoes aren't too bad yet, and should be a good event. Let's see. Other than that, we received an award from our Workman's Comp Michigan Municipal League for our loss record. We came in second.
By little.
Out of the whole state, we just missed first place. We're like Avis. We have to work harder. So, but we got an award for that, so kudos to us and kudos for everyone not hurting themselves. Okay, the St. Clair County Road Commission is doing a renewal. I didn't read this, so I'm winging this, but I know what's going on our on the road millage. Is it in August or November?
Yeah, August.
In August. Basically, it's a quarter mil, and that money goes up to the county, and they use that money to do matching for federal funds, and they get a pretty good bang for their buck. Do they go into this? It's like 7-to-1 that for every dollar we put in, we're actually getting $7 of road work back through federal funding. I know we all pay for it eventually, but that's how the game works with these grants and funds.
It's gone down a little bit, though. Now in 2015, it's $5.
Right, okay.
Yeah.
Like I say, I'm kind of winging that. I did have a meeting last week with Road Commission. They had, and it's gonna, it's gonna impact us. If it didn't happen, I think sometime this week, they're gonna post, let me back up. There's 2 bridges on 26 Mile Road that are failing. And I don't know if you recall, about 2 years ago, there was one that, they call them bridges, I call them big tubes, culverts. But there was one that was failing 2 years ago and they had to fix it. And, but probably in a week or two, they're gonna post that 26 Mile Road that no heavy trucks can go down it. And there's one of them that's in desperate need of repair, and then there's a second one that is right there, so they're gonna fix both of them at the same time. And it affects us in 2 ways. Well, heavy trucks won't be able to go down that road, So I don't know if they're gonna use M29 more or what they're gonna do. It's gonna
Where are they
affect-
gonna go?
Well, they can't go down that road, so I don't know where the detour is or
You
anything.
either can come by here
Right.
or St. Clair.
Right, exactly.
They can't go on St. Clair Highway.
No, I know. So, but I mean, that's going to affect the traffic up there north of us. And this is what astounded me. 2 years ago, they fixed the one that I told you about. It cost $2.4 million, and that just blows my mind anyhow. Because they're not bridges, they're big culverts. Anyhow, it cost $2.4 million. And they said, well, already this year is projecting $4.1 million. I said, for both? That's a good deal, no, each. And I don't understand it. And, I mean, we had a long discussion. I guess, when things went bad, a lot of the contractors left the state, so there's less people bidding on it. I don't entirely buy that, but that's what it is. And costs have gone up. But anyhow, because of this, our Flamingo, we're solid on the Merrill Street Bridge. That's going to start in the fall. Now, we did get a grant, about $1 million grant to replace the Flamingo Bridge. And it's a good deal because our cost is actually about 30 grand when it's all over and said and done with, but it's going to be $1 million. Like, the cost of this stuff just astounds me. We should be contractors for this. But that may be put off from 2019 to 2020 now. So I don't know if that's going to be the case or not. But like I told them, a lot of these tubes and things over these canals were put in about the same time. And we've had 1, 2, 3 fail in the past year. And they are so freaking expensive for the price that to fix like the tube on Falkert or the one on Bay Street, Bayview Shores.
Yeah.
For the price of fixing that one tube, I can pave a whole road. And, people say, hey, you paved a road, that's awesome, But, you spend 100 grand on a big tube and they just drive over it, people don't see it, they don't realize it, and I don't think we get a return. I mean, it's important and we have to maintain it, but it's like we're not getting a big bang on our buck, but we're gonna start feeling more of this. And I got a couple ideas. I was going to approach the road commission eventually on it of different ideas. Like, I'm thinking maybe we can put a sleeve in these tubes before they start failing. And because when they start failing, they collapse, so you can't put anything in there. But maybe we could engineer some kind of a sleeve to put in there to give it more support, so give it another 20 years. I don't know, I'm just thinking out of the box. But I'm gonna talk to some friends, and I got a couple buddies that are engineers, and John down here, he does a pretty good job too, so I don't know, maybe we can come up with some ideas. So that's the road. And update, change in warning siren testing. When are we going to do it? It's going to be first Monday of every month in April, and it lasts for 3 minutes. No,
It used to.
it used to last for 3 minutes. Now it's going to be 30 seconds. Good. That 3 minutes is a long time. Save the eardrums. So first Monday of every month. At what time? Noon? Does it say?
But it avoids the confusion between the tests and the actual,
Right.
something going on.
It used to be at 1 o'clock. I remember, I used to be right next to the one in Marine City. Okay.
Doesn't say the time.
And I've been working also, and this isn't officially township business, but the old Elginak Elementary School, I've been working with the superintendent, John Stricker. He's a friend of mine, and the new owner of the Elginak Elementary School. There's a group called the Dream Centers, and basically they want to come in and take that school, the old school, and turn it into something like the YMCA. And it would be, I think, fantastic for our area. We met a couple times with the owners of the building, the Dream Center people, myself, the mayor of Elginak, and one of the councilmen were there, and the school superintendent. And then since then, we've actually met with the Community Foundation, and they're really excited about it, and they're going to help support it. Basically, they're looking at bringing a bunch of low-cost programs and running them out of that school. Things for senior citizens, things for kids, things for just about everybody. And actually, we're getting together, we're seeing where our greatest needs are right now for the community, and we're going to give them the 15 biggest needs to fulfill, and that's what they're going to hit first. So I've been doing a lot of work with that, and I think it'll be a really good thing that actually pops. And I'm pretty confident and hopeful that it's gonna come to fruition. It's gonna happen. The owner of the building is willing to give it to them for $1 a year, for 3 years, 5 years to get it going, and we're all working on the funding right now for it, and it's going to be free or low-cost services, which this area needs. And really, I think that would be a great area for it because it's a central location. A lot of kids can get there by walking or riding their bike, and the old folks' home is right there. It's a great location for it. So, coming events: May 7th, St. John's Marsh cleanup. May 8th is the annual Color Out Cancer Run. And May 14th is a Elginak Little League Run the Bases fundraiser. Do they actually run the bases?
No, they run around the middle school.
They
The
run
old middle school.
Run around the old middle. Is it 5K?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. And May 21st, Music in the Park. I think that's it, guys.
Movie in the park.
Movie in the park. What did I say? Concert in the park.
Music. You said
Music.
music.
That's July, actually end of June, which we are booking bands right now and taking sponsors. All right, thank you much. Unfinished business. We have the zoning amendment, and our planner, Dave Birchler, was off on vacation. And so needless to say, I'm looking for a motion to postpone that.
Make a motion to postpone the zoning amendment meeting until our next board meeting. Or
Support.
do you want a next board meeting or down the road?
We'll leave it on there.
All right.
I'm going to attempt.
Okay, next board meeting.
Okay, we have motion and support. Any discussion? Hearing none. All in favor, signify by saying aye.
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 Anyone opposed? Motion carries. New business, police department, open officer position. I think Lieutenant Kuligowski was here. Come on up, Lieutenant, and say hello to everybody.
Pull that mic up, Kevin.
Well, we have a new position for a full-timer, which is going to be Cliff Vanderlinden.
Kevin.
Put your mic up there.
I'm
Put your
so,
mic.
okay, this is the first time I'm actually doing this, so
I
I
know.
apologize.
Thank you.
I love putting you on the hot seat.
Yeah, obviously Cliff, he works for the part-time for IRA, and he'll be well fit for the position. He's trained, so he can just slide right into our slot, because one of our slots went to Sergeant, which had been Sergeant Stockwell. So he'll be taking over his position, so that would be a pretty good fit for that. And then we have a part-time patrolman,
We're just going to do one at a time.
Oh, okay. So that's the full-time position right there, so.
So before us, we have to advance Officer Vanderlinden to full-time from part-time position.
So moved.
Support.
We have motion and support. How long has he worked for us at part-time? I know he could,
Says 2014.
Yeah, I don't have the paperwork
yeah,
in front of me.
2014, okay, since June of,
2014.
yeah,
Yeah, he's really good, thorough,
right,
yeah, excellent officer.
yes. Okay, any more questions? We have motion and support, right?
Yep.
All in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Anyone opposed? All right, next on the agenda, we have opening for a part-time officer to replace Mr. Vanderlinden that we just promoted.
Yes. This position, we are going to, well, hopefully, with the board's approval, Mr. Navelsdorf, he's a, you guys have his first name right there, but he's retired Roseville deputy chief, highly recommended, should be a very, very, very good fit. Comes with a lot of experience, again, administratively, detective-wise. Obviously, he'll go through the FTO training, and he'll be fitting in there pretty good. He'll do just fine with your guys' approval.
I'll make a motion that we hire James Noblesdorf.
I'm sorry, sounds like Harry
Doesn't
Potter movie.
Vanderlinden Noblesdorf, does
Yeah, they
anybody
work
have
together.
short names? As a part-time officer to cover Ira.
No,
Support?
I'm pretty sure he's got a nickname somewhere down there.
yeah, I'm sure. All right, I'm sorry. We have a motion and support. Any more discussion? Hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Anyone
Aye.
opposed? Motion carries. Okay, next we have to hire a part-time dispatcher.
Yes, it's Katie. I don't have the paperwork.
Napier?
Yeah, that's right, exactly. Katie has a pretty good educational background. She comes from a dispatching center from down in Georgia. She was down there for about 5 years. She has a great resume. She has dispatching experience, dispatching school. She is EMD qualified, and I think she would fit very well in as a part-time position, and I'm pretty sure she would get all our communication systems down well. When we had her in there for the interview, she said that everything in front of her looked familiar. She has a great open mind. I think she'd be a really good dispatcher. Again, with your guys' approval, it'd be pretty good.
Good.
Make a motion to hire Katie Napier in the part-time dispatch position.
Support?
Okay, a motion and support. Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Anyone opposed? Motion carries. All right, you're done. Thank
All right,
you.
all right. Thank you very much, Board.
Yep, thank
Okay.
you.
All right. In front of us, we have resolution 2016-11 medical marijuana moratorium.
We spell marijuana right?
Yeah.
No,
Who did
That
this?
is how the state of Michigan spells it.
we had this
That's really
discussion.
how they spell
That is
it?
how the state of Michigan spells it,
Yep.
absolutely.
Not with a J, with an H. We had this discussion for about 20 minutes. We said, well, we better go with the state spelling. I got a phone call about a week and a half ago of somebody from San Diego is gonna buy 18 acres of property and wants to grow medical marijuana off of Fruit Street. And we have to actually redo this once a year. And what really kind of got, I mean, there's some people growing some small houses here that the state allows. But this guy wanted to put a 5,000 square foot pole barn, and I think he wanted to lease pieces of it to, I don't know, I'm not sure, I'm just guessing, I shouldn't say. But it brought my attention, we have to renew this moratorium. And basically, part of it too, and I'm gonna talk to the planning commission, it basically puts a hold on everything for a year, and it gives the planning commission to consult to the planner and legal counsel and adoption of regulations necessary regarding to the sale and dispensing of medical marijuana in the township. Problem is, they didn't act because the state's all over the place of what's happening and they still don't have this is how it works, because I don't know, you might even end up on the ballot this year. So, but anyhow, I thought it was a good idea, we at least get this passed and And I don't think people want a 5,000 square
If
foot
I smoked it, my hearing would be better.
building, so. Anyhow, that's why we brought this before the board. So I'll entertain a motion.
I'll make a motion that we approve resolution.
I'll make a motion, is it?
Yeah, what she's doing.
Oh, she's doing it? I can't hear her. Go ahead, I'm sorry.
Maybe the pot would be good for that, too.
I'll make a motion that we approve resolution 2016-11 for a medical marijuana moratorium in Clay Township.
Support?
Okay, we have motion and support. Any more discussion on it? Hearing none. Roll call vote, please.
Joanne Shirkey,
Yes.
John Horvath,
Yes.
Cindy Valentine, yes. Artie Bryson,
Sure, yes.
Tom Kruger,
Yes.
Karen Straffen,
Yes.
Okay, motion passes. Next, we have discussion on local banks investments. I'm not even sure.
Well, somebody requested that we put some information on the agenda about where we have some of our investments, or all of our investments, actually. So I just quickly pulled this together. The note 3 from our financial report is a dissertation on our deposits and investments.
I didn't see that.
Further back, this thing here that looks like a printout is what we get from our bank indicating the balance of a CD we have with them. Second page from, I don't know the name of the bank, North Star, same bank, is where we have a lot of our CDs in little amounts to participate in the CEDARS program, which is basically, a program that protects our money. We can invest
I'll
it
read it.
and $250,000 lots
Didn't understand what
to
that
give
was
us
all
fully
about, but I
insured,
do now.
John?
to give us fully insured coverage on everything we invest. We got over $3 million in that situation. And then I threw this in here too. We have some money invested in Athene, and you can see the amounts on all the statements there. To the best of my knowledge, besides what we have in our bank accounts, that's the only outside investments that we have. So if anybody has any questions or comments about it, just go away.
I was just interested to have you speak on this because it wasn't too long ago that you mentioned that the interest values were very minimal.
Well, they are.
So I wanted to maybe have you talk about this to let us know exactly where we are and have a, I don't know, maybe a quarterly report on it and see where we're going. Plus, in the last, was it the last meeting that we received a printout on these from Talmer Public Funds interest rates and from Huntington Bank, Talmer and Huntington. And I was just curious as to whether either one of these banks would give us a better bang for our investments, or have them come in and talk to us. I would, somebody from the bank to come in and talk to us, to
Well,
see
they-
if some of them are upcoming, are they being retired, or are they, you just gonna roll them over?
Well, the money at Athene, we're locked into. We can't
Okay,
really do
yeah.
much with that. And the CD we roll over every year, and I believe, does it have the rate on here somewhere? I believe that rate is better than we're getting, or that we will get in any of these. I believe here it is, interest rate, 1%. So that's better than what we get at all these other ones and what they're telling us we can get.
I just saw a sign at Talmer to come in and talk to them about getting a 1.25 interest rate on a CD for 15 months. And,
Yeah, but that's
but is
different.
that just for people? Or
Yes.
is it not public funds?
Right.
Well, I don't know.
I mean, it wouldn't be worth,
We're getting 1%. The highest on Talmer is 0.85, and the highest on the Huntington is 0.45.
is none of that negotiable? Could they you know, just maybe call them, Tom, and ask them, or have them,
I'd be very glad to ask, but the answer is no, it's really not
Well,
negotiable.
if one bank gives it to us, another one certainly could.
Yeah, but we're already getting 1% on this
On the
part of it.
CD.
I remember we had this discussion before. I mean,
What it is risk and reward.
right.
right.
You know, it's like this money we have here with North Star, the $3 million, we're only getting like 2% on it, okay? But the reason we're getting 2% is every piece of it's insured, okay? We could get a higher percentage if we wanted to take our 3 million and put it somewhere, but it would probably only be insured for $250,000 or
And
$500,000.
legally, we have to have it insured.
No,
No, I thought we,
I don't believe so.
okay.
But I think you'd be hanging too far out there
Right.
by not insuring it somewhat. And that's why we've always taken this route that we are taking. It's crappy interest, but interest as a whole throughout the whole economy that you're getting on investments is pretty crappy anyway, unless you want to assume more risk, which, I mean, the board can do whatever they want, but in this environment, I don't think we want to.
No, we don't want to jeopardize our funds, that's for
We're
sure.
talking about investing in public fund, the public's fund. It's not, well,
Yeah,
part of
it's
it's
not
our
our
money.
money.
It's all our
The township
tax
money, the
holders,
tax-
our
right,
taxpayers'
right,
money.
right.
And we have to do it as conservatively as possible. The risk versus the amount of return probably isn't really worth it. So, I mean, we had this discussion a couple of years ago. You know, we're not here, if I was a business or something, yeah, let's get all we can, but I gotta think, we're not business, we're government, and we're here to provide services, not to
Make money.
make money
And to protect funds.
and protect funds. We're here to protect the township more than anything else, so.
I understand that, but I just thought would be good to let the taxpayers know that we're paying attention
Okay,
and that
paying
always
attention.
look at a possibility of something a little bit better.
Okay, do we have anything more on that item? Hearing none. We'll move to, I added this to the agenda, high-tech additional quote for a phone system. And what happened, they quoted us and we approved it last meeting. I signed a contract with them. They got tearing into the fire hall and the water station. And they basically, I mean, they looked at the wires that were inside the wall. They expected it was going to be Cat 5 or Cat 6 wire. It's actually Cat 3, and it will not work for VoIP, voice over IP. And so they said, well, whoops, that it's not going to work. And so there was additional work to be done for us to get the phone system that we told them we wanted. Now, the additional work at all three locations, the firehouses and the water department, is a total of 18 drops. Over in the police station, they had 7 drops they quoted us, but we actually ran the wire ourselves for that. So that's why there's actually 18 additional drops, but they're charging us for 11 because they credited us back the 7 that we actually took care of at the police station. So basically everything else you can see, it's, I didn't like it. I've had 3 or 4 conversations with them and shot some emails back and forth, but it is what it is. So it's going to be additional $34.64 and 80 cents.
I make a motion to approve the additional $3,464.80 to complete our conversion to high-tech's
New phone system.
new phone system.
Support,
We have support?
yeah, support.
Okay. Any more discussion on that? I copied you on some of the emails where I was trying to beat them up on, and That's where they explain where exactly where the labor's going and about the 18 drops, and they're charging us 11. In the mainland fire building, they actually have 2 roofs because it was a remodel. There's actually 2 roofs they got to go through, so there's going to be a lot more work over there. And like I say, it is what it is. So, any more discussion? Hearing none. All in favor of the additional quote for high tech, $34.64 and 80 cents, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Anyone oppose?
Me.
Okay, we have Karen oppose. Let the record show that. Motion carries. All right, we're done with the new business. Time for public comments. Do we have any public comments?
Yes.
Come on up, and state your name and address and.
Hello, my name's John Wyatt, and this is my wife Jennifer. We live over on Morrow. We've been residents for a couple of years now.
What is the last name, please?
Wyatt, W-E-O-T. And I called the board about it. And I think I talked to you
Yeah.
already. I want to talk about smart meters. I'm not sure if the board knows anything about smart meters, but smart meters are a relatively new device that are being installed on our homes to measure our electricity, our gas, and our water. Now, smart meters have the ability to send and receive information back to the power company. Technology, new technology. With that capability, smart meters give off RF, which is radio frequency. In other words, radiation. RF radiation is classified by the International Agency of Research on Cancer as a carcinogenic to humans, anything organic. I urge the board to look into the dangers of smart meters. When you do, you will discover not only that they are an enormous health risk, they're an invasion of privacy, could potentially lead to fire, not to mention a higher energy bill. Now, my wife and I put together a package for the board, if you don't mind.
No.
We put together some information. I put together some websites where you can go to look at the dangers of them. I also put in I requested DTE send us a history of our bills. We had a bill on January 16th, DTE, without our permission or our knowledge, put a smart meter on our home. And if you look in the package, my January 15th bill, January 2015 bill, to my January 2016 bill, my usage tripled. Now, not only are they a health risk, they could cause a potential fire. And
They're plastic, they're made out of plastic.
yes. Now, there's a current bill in the Michigan legislature called the Michigan Analog Choice Bill, HB 4916. That gives the homeowners the right to opt out of the smart meter program. I'm here tonight to urge the board to follow the lead of the Marysville City Council that passed such a resolution that calls on the MPSC, the state legislature, and the Attorney General to investigate smart meters. I urge the legislature to pass a 2015 4916 that provides homeowners with the right for an analog opt-out. Now, in the package, I put some websites to go to and to look at the dangers of smart meters. And also in there's a website to go to where you can purchase an analog meter. Now, I've done that, and I've talked to DTE about it, and they subsequently told me that they would shut my power off if I did so. So,
Really?
yes.
Yeah, go ahead.
So,
That happened to a person on the island, put an analog meter in.
yeah.
He worked for an electrical company. They wanted to cut his electric off.
Yeah, and they have the power to do
In the
it.
night, they
Yes.
came in, took it out, and put one of those back in.
Yeah.
In
Now-
the night.
Yeah, Marysville just passed a resolution urging the state legislature to pass the bill. But go to the websites. I also, on the flash drive there's a documentary out called Take Back Your Power. And it documents the plight of, I think it's the Pacific Northwest in California, and the fight that they're going through right now. And if you watch it, I think it's about an hour and 20 minutes, but it'll scare the hell out of you.
Yeah.
So,
Can I interrupt you for a second?
Absolutely, I'm all done.
On this topic, Townships, the St. Clair County Supervisors, we invited a person to speak from DTE on this specific topic at our last meeting, and he reluctantly didn't show up. I know, I've talked to, Larry Simons, the supervisor for East China, and there's a lot of people there that are upset because when they install these, their power goes up.
Yeah.
Or I don't say the power, but their bill goes up.
Did you notice the usage
Yeah.
that we had?
Yes.
From 2015?
Right.
It tripled.
So I called the guy that was supposed to come after I talked to you. I think I got his name, Jeff something. And he said, well, they're claiming that the digital ones are just more accurate than the old analog ones. And he says that some of the ones that they replaced with the digital, there's a decrease in the electric bill. And I asked him, that would be interesting to see those numbers.
Mine almost doubled personally.
Yes.
Did you?
I just had one put in today.
Yeah. And I was under the opinion too that they stopped because the components inside this is made out of plastic. And there is an issue of them starting fires. I think there's been about, if I could be wrong, if I remember right, there's been 100 reported fires that these things have melted.
Yep.
Yeah.
And the radiation is a big deal too.
And the
I mean,
radiation.
and the most susceptible are anybody with a weakened immune system, the elderly, a diabetic, children, animals.
Supervisors?
They're bad news. They're bad news. But I encourage you to watch the video.
I just noticed
It'll really
3 weeks ago
enlighten you
that
on what's
first
going on.
Mine's on an outbuilding,
Did
but
they
I stay
really?
away from it.
Yeah,
One
it's,
back here.
Sir? Sir?
yes.
Did they explain why your bill went from this to this?
Well, their response was that this is the more accurate meter.
That's what I got too.
And I
Wait,
said,
it
well,
went from $100 to $700?
Yeah, the usage did, yeah. It actually, our average bill for January, it's all electric on Morrow Road. We have
Right.
a geo unit, and it averaged around $220 a month. It went to $463.
Yeah, they don't have gas on Marl Road, so
Yes.
they're reliant on electric.
I have everything except for my stove.
Yeah.
Everything else is
Well, imagine
electric, and I
someone who's on
have
fixed
nothing
income.
like this.
Right,
We have the means to take care of that, but
right.
some people don't.
So my average is at about 89. It's gonna go up to 189?
It may. It may,
Well, his is even more, though.
yeah. And
Yeah.
there were no changes to the,
Tell them about the prime time.
they're now, if you look on your bill, John, you may see that they're charging you differently for peak hours. So with these smart meters, they have the ability to find out when you're using the most electricity. And that's when they're going to charge you peak hours. Your bill will be raised if you're home between 6 and 8 at night. That will be your peak hours. Whereas us, it might be 6 o'clock in the morning, 8 o'clock in the morning. And those will be our peak hours. They're really a sophisticated device, and
Right.
they're bad news.
We're gonna have a hot summer every watch.
So,
I did talk to the city, Marysville City Manager, Randy, and they were upset, and they did pass this. I guess what I would suggest the board review this, and if you would like to see it on the next agenda.
Yeah.
Or you can tell me to put it on right now.
I'll tell you what,
And-
just go to your computer and Google the dangers of smart meters. And
Right.
you'll get numerous websites you can go to, and they'll tell you all about it. So,
So did you know they were changing
It's all
yours?
about money,
I didn't
though.
know, without our knowledge or permission.
No, they just
It
come
just
and
came
do it.
out.
Yeah, they set up a schedule with me, and they said, we're gonna change, it takes about a minute,
Yeah.
and another, poof, he was gone.
Well, I just told Artie, I noticed 3 weeks ago mine was changed. I have no idea when they did it.
Didn't they
bet you I
come to
had a
the
flash.
They had
island?
to get to my backyard, because he couldn't get back to the one from my garage. So they had to know.
Marysville, when they passed that, does that mean that DTE, for anybody in Marysville that said, hey, I don't want this, did DTE have to come out and
I think it was just a resolution to encourage the
Right.
PSC and
It-
state
General.
legislator to
Yeah,
pass
it was
the bill
encourage it.
that's currently in.
Now, they did tell me you can opt out, and it's like $10 a month
It's a $67 charge.
charge. It's a
Okay.
67 upcharge,
And a
then
$10 a
then
month
it's $10 a month
But, and I
to
am,
opt out.
I don't believe that they're doing that. I don't believe, they told us they came out and it had snowed. They came out and said they read the meter after we had that high bill.
Yeah?
And they said they came out that next day. Now, it had snowed that night, and there were no footprints that went up to my meter. And I flat out called them liars, and they said, no, we did. So I think that they're transmitting signals back and forth anyway.
Right.
Now, your meter has a transmitter and a receiver inside of it. And on your utility pole, there's another transmitter and receiver. Now, depending on how far your meter is away from that transmitter, it determines the level of radiation that it's giving off. So if it's far away like ours is,
It's
it's
going to be
worse.
more,
So,
a stronger signal.
yes. So please look into it. It'll scare,
Mine's right there, my deck, the back there.
it's not good. Because
Are you,
radiation permeates everything. It goes through walls, it goes
Mm-hmm.
through, there's nothing you can do to block it. You can put a Faraday cage
Lead.
around it, but that'll be expensive. That'll be really expensive. You'll have to insulate the walls and insulate the outside of it too. It's really,
Then let them try to read it.
it's,
didn't they come and originally put them all on the island
Yep.
long time ago?
And then they
as the
pulled 'em.
beginning test case?
Yep.
It may
They
have
were
been a-
piled up at the marina, stacks of them.
it may have been a digital meter, but it may not have been a smart meter.
Okay.
Right.
But there
okay,
is a difference.
all right,
Yeah.
okay.
So
It sure looked the same.
in my discussion with DTE, I said, well, I'm opting out of the program. So I'm paying the extra money to opt out. And like I said, I don't believe that they are. I think they're still transmitting the signal. And I said, I have an analog meter that I purchased. I said, why don't I change it out? You have to come out and read it anyway. And they said, no, absolutely not. We'll cut your power.
Really?
Yep.
So
So
that's
I
a
said, "You're-"
different story I got from when I talked to them.
I said, you're coming out anyway to read it, right? And she said, yep. And I said, then what's the difference between an analog or the smart meter? And she goes, if you do it, we're going to cut your power.
I don't like that.
Yes. We just don't have a choice in this matter. And
Yeah.
this is why I'm here.
Okay.
Okay, thank you.
Okay?
Yeah, Jeff, right?
John?
John, I'm sorry. I appreciate
okay.
that. And we'll, yeah, after I talked to you, like I say, I did talk to a few, I know East China, they're all upset.
I'm gonna have to go to
Marysville,
city, see.
yeah. So,
If you Google anything on the smart meters, there's lawsuits all over the.
yeah, I know. And it is a fire issue also,
Yeah.
so.
If you can't play what's on the flash drive, just Google.
What we will.
Take Back Your Power. That's what the
Okay.
video's called, the
Good.
documentary. But
Awesome.
Thanks for your time.
Yep, thanks a
Thank
lot,
you.
John. Thanks for coming. Okay, any more public comments? How we doing, Mark? Good,
I'm doing fine, thanks.
good,
Taking notes.
good. I'm glad.
What was your name again?
John. All right, anything for the next meeting? Does the board want me to put this on the agenda, or do you want to, I mean,
Give us a little time to
to process
process
it?
it.
Okay,
Just give me a call if you guys want me to add it to the next one.
yeah, we will. All right, board member comments. Joanne?
The first comment I'd like to make is that we have 3 things now in front of the planner that are all on the table. The one about the special approval land use, and now he's got to do recreation plan, and then who knows what's coming down the line with the bridge. So we got to get going on some of this stuff.
And marijuana,
And marijuana, yes,
spelt with an H.
yep, that's the Spanish version.
It's a growing concern.
And the second thing I'd like to
That was a
mention
classic email.
is because Tom is not here, but in the paper, they had an article about the Marysville tournament and Algonac, with the robotics
The
tournament.
robotics tournament.
And
They're kicking
Algonac came
butt.
in second, which was a good thing, and Marysville won it. And it's starting to be quite a competition, so
Yep.
I'm voicing congratulations for for Tom,
Good,
because I know he's interested and works with him.
right.
Yeah. Mhm. That's it.
Very good, thank you. John, do you have anything?
I just a question about this marijuana stuff. In the event that, let's just say we were for this, wouldn't some specific place have to be put aside for that? I mean, have to go through planning and
Light industrial,
it has to go light industrial?
light industrial.
And that would start with the planning commission?
Yep,
Okay,
so.
all
Okay,
right. I'll just say goodnight to Fred.
okay. Cindy? No? How about you, Karen?
Nothing, thank you.
No? Tom?
Nope.
I kind of want to make
Where are
a
the
comment.
trustees?
I didn't even plan it, it just popped in my head. Someone today on Facebook put a petition to be electronically signed, and it starts out, Artie Bryson, God, what did it say? Artie Bryson, petition against the bridge to Harson's Island. And,
We're miscellaneous.
and they,
You listen to him.
a lot of
I'm
people.
talking to her.
A lot of people are sharing it all over Facebook, and it's too bad. The DEQ, the public comment period for the DEQ is passed, and it doesn't matter. And I appreciate a lot of people, you know, their concerns about the bridge for flooding or whatever, you know, pro or con. But it kind of looks like I put it out there and I didn't. But I know on a couple of these Facebook pages, there's a lot of discussion going back and forth. Some of them was like, they're thinking that I should be more proactive against the bridge. And truthfully, the township really can't make an official comment until they come before us, because we could get legally in trouble. And actually, they're not going to be coming before this board. It's going to be the planning commission. If and when that does happen. So, you know, everyone says, Artie, you gotta, you know, and believe me, I personally did a lot. We sent a letter to the DEQ. They demanding that they hold a public hearing. We got the school, 450 people came. We had it filmed as best as we could. We put it on YouTube. I got up there and spoke quite a bit, and we've been facilitating a lot, so a good venue to people to express their opinion either for or against. And other than that, and it's not because my brother owns it, it's because the township really can't go either way until it comes before us, and not till then. Otherwise, you know, we can get legally in trouble too. So that's it, that's why. And in fact, I was quoted in the paper Sunday, our concerns, and part of those concerns, I said, as township supervisor, these are my concerns. As a resident on Harson's Island, these are other concerns I have. And I think it ran today in the Free Press also, that same article, and it's pretty obvious the way I personally feel. But, and someone told me it was on Channel 7 News tonight too, so I don't know, it's getting a lot of play time. I don't understand it.
On the radio, I heard it.
Was it on the radio? But the DEQ, they haven't made a decision yet. In a nutshell, when they were up, I think 2007, they applied. They were denied because of riparian right issues, which they fixed. Wetlands issue on the island, which they fixed, but they're also denied for lack of information as far as the effects on ice and the effects on flooding upstream, which they didn't address that at all, and effects on the sturgeon reefs and the sturgeon fish in the North Channel, and they very lightly touched on that. So that's the case. The DEQ, I'm not sure when. I think they're going to postpone any decision. I'm not sure when. I've talked to a couple of the higher ups out in Lansing, and actually they are going to. They request a sit down with me on it. You know, these people in Lansing that weren't even at our public hearing. So I'm not sure what that's about yet. And I did facilitate a meeting. Right now, how it works with the ferry, the Public Service Commission used to set rates and tariffs and regulate the ferry, and it got switched away from them to actually the Michigan State Police. Same people, they just switched the people that were working for the MPSC, it's now working for the state police. And there's some really crazy things with the law and how that works. And I thought, boy, if we can just get this thing figured out once and for all and put this issue to bed, you know, is your brother going to retire? Is he going to close? Is he, you know, what's going to happen? And all the games stop. So I had a meeting, or I have a meeting Wednesday with the Michigan State Police people and their new bosses. Dan Lauers, our state rep, I think Phil Pavlov is also going to be there, and my brothers, the owner of the ferry, and it's going to be the first of probably 2 or 3 sit-downs to see if we can come to a conclusion and put this. I mean, they've been going back and forth for 20 years, and hopefully we're going to come to a solution on that. And I'm hopeful. Like I said, I think I did my part. I got all the parties in question together with the power hitters, and they're actually going to meet here. I have all the people from the state police in Lansing coming out here. I said, you need to come out here and see this, because they're treating him like a utility, like DTE, exact same thing. And they need to see that it's not quite like a DTE or a SEMCO or Consumer Power. So I just want to make that mention too. Actually, I should have been in my supervisor's report, but I've been busy with that too. So other than that, I got one more motion.
Motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn.
Okay, all in favor? Aye, let's get out of here.
Sounds good to me.
See, I didn't even start on the front page. You know, I just saw